I was just really inspired to tell a story about Indigenous women as a member of the Seneca-Cayuga Nation. I grew up with so many aunties and my mom and women in my life and queer folks in my life that work to protect our culture, our languages, and us as people. And so I was really inspired to tell a story about two Indigenous women, an auntie and a niece, who will basically do anything for each other.
I mean, I was on board with this one before there was even a name for the character, before there was a world drawn. I just knew I wanted to work with Erica again. We did a short film called Little Chief. You can watch it on YouTube. You can see how this artist turned 7 pages into something that feels like a feature. And before I even left set, I wanted to ask Erica if she would consider making a feature that I could be in. And before I even had the chance to ask her, she said, "Can I write a feature for you?" I'm like, "Yes, please." So I knew that Jax was going to exist in some form to resemble what we did with Little Chief, and go watch that film if you're curious as to why. And then when I read the script for the first time, I was so swept into it. I wasn't even necessarily projecting myself into it. I just fell in love with these characters in this world and this matrilineal love story. You know, we're told that the great love stories on screen are romantic, sweeping epics, but the commitment of this aunt to her niece, to her community, to the legacy of her sister, to searching for her sister, that's the greatest love story that's never told, but is the love story that's kept Indigenous peoples alive. It's kept us around. It's kept us connected to our land, our culture, to each other, and it's so rooted, especially in Seneca-Cayuga, a lot of nations around our matriarchs.
There's something that happened with Lily and Isabel that is just extraordinary. I mean, what you see on screen really existed behind the scenes in terms of how they connected with one another. And there was a genuine bond that developed between the two of them. And I think there are so many things that connected them in terms of they were learning to dance together, they were learning how to powwow dance, they were learning the Cayuga language together. So there were all of these things that were connecting them that were so important.
First day was working with Lily Gladstone, and walking on set and having that brother-sister connection. In our first scene, it was just like we felt that already. We felt that familial connection. It was very familiar, and the situation, it was very much like my own situation with my sisters. Having that tension there. You're wrong, I'm right, type of thing. What are you doing? That type of family dynamics was really something that I'm very familiar with. So it was great. That was my favorite.
It's a perfect collaboration because it's told from an Indigenous lens, a female, writer, director. This story is about an epidemic that's happening in Indian country, all throughout Indian country, Canada, United States, MMIW, missing and murdered Indigenous women. It's going to spark conversation. It's going to spark questions, which is something that it's helpful coming from cinema. I mean, there's so much education through art, right? So really happy to be a part of this collaboration.
It's really a mother-daughter story at its core, whether you take it literally or metaphorically. There's also something about family, the importance of it, the sacredness of it, the sense of perpetual belonging that nothing else gives you when it's really working. And I think Lily Gladstone. I think there is an undeniable star power, and she holds the screen, and every frame she's in, you don't want to look away.
I hope that everyone really takes from this film that, modern Native American lives are so overwrought with a lot of systems related to federal government and our history with treaties with the United States and other countries before the United States was founded. But we still managed to find hope, and connection despite all of these kind of imposed systems.